Hello everyone, and welcome to my reaction to the manga chapter called Rocks versus Harold. I wouldn't consider that a spoiler. So, anyway, if you're watching this back later, the live chat was just telling me to be careful of the title. But I don't consider that the author decided, hey, this is going to happen in this chapter. Now, you know what would be a spoiler? If someone in the chat told me why, how, you know? So I don't consider this a spoiler. It's just a title tells you what something is about. So if this is what it's about, I don't care. My most curious, the first question that comes up for me is why? How? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. If anything, it just makes me more excited for the chapter. And well, let's just get started, right? Well, first in the live chat we have Tiago, Modru, Jolly D, Joestar, Booty, Victory, Road Rage, 7 Mode Shanks, Hunter is here, Arun, Aman, Explosive Dude, and Antonio is here. Welcome everyone. Wait, one more thing. I wanted to say that regarding spoilers, for me, as long as the author decided, like I know that some anime openings, they like summarize the whole arc. So in that case, sometimes, of course, that can be spoilers because the anime is giving away things from the manga that hasn't been revealed yet. But for me, as long as it's the author telling me something, that's just part of the story. So yeah, Rocks versus Harold. Okay, so we're starting on the cover and it says Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest, Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 40. Here lies the heroic pirate of justice. So we have Okiku, Yamato, and someone I don't recognize. How long has this been going on? Then the grave title says Kozuki Moria. Kozuki is a surname that we've heard before. What do you mean the name on the tombstone is a spoiler? Kozuki is Odin's family. So then Moria is the given name. Here lies the heroic pirate of justice. Okay, I feel like we were going to have to come back to that. I don't think it could be the same Moria. Okay, we're going to have to come back to this. Let's start with the chapter for now. There's also a kanji wordplay Oda did. Moria fought Kaido and stole Ryuma's body. I remember that he stole Ryuma's body. I didn't remember that he fought Kaido. The heroic pirate of Okay, guys, let's come back to this. Wait. Please get some receipts ready. Get some chapter titles or chapter numbers for me to go back and read, please. Okay, so page 1 or 2 technically. In a certain stretch of sea, Oro Jackson, Roger's ship. Hey, Captain! Captain Roger! They're saying that Shaki opened her own bar on Pirate Island. And it's all the rage. So he looks a little bit sad or bummed there. We were so bummed out when she abdicated her emperor's throne. But now that we know where to find her, let's go look. Remember that Pirate Island is under Rock's control. You know, Rayleigh, I couldn't help but notice that Roger's mood soured right after you two had that conversation in the captain's cabin. Ooh. Oh, so that's why he's in a bad mood. A conversation. What did you talk about? It was nothing. Yeah, nothing happened, I'm sure. I wasn't going to tell anyone about this, but I'll make a special exception for you, Roger. So this was when we fought the Kuja before she abdicated? I remember noticing that Shakuyaku seemed to be ailing from some kind of illness. When I heard the news that she was giving up her position, I worried for her health. It turns out that ever since then, you've been sitting on this note she passed to you? I know. I was too awkward to bring it up. It was too awkward? It's clearly a love letter. How else should it be interpreted? Come and get me, Shakuyaku. So she passed him this note. This was when we fought the Kuja. It's clearly a love letter. How else should it be interpreted? And you say you're not tempted by this at all? I wouldn't say there's no temptation. I just don't want to be tied down, you know? I think what he means here is the responsibility that comes with being in a relationship. That's why I always joke and say that I would rather be in a relationship with, as much as I'm a Zoro fangirl, if I had to choose like a boyfriend, I would probably choose Sanji over Zoro, because Sanji, I feel, would take some responsibility for being in a relationship, even if it is writing me love letters. Zoro would not fucking remember he's in a relationship. I would see him like once every 10 years, maybe, if we happen to cross paths. I feel like, and this is just my interpretation on his character, but Rayleigh is that kind of person. It's not that he doesn't want to be tied down, like he wants to fuck around. It's more like he thinks that it's a responsibility. He wants to do that person justice, and at this point, he probably doesn't have. He can't consider, settling down or being a good boyfriend or whatever. So I don't think it's so much about him wanting to sleep around. I think it's more like he doesn't think he'll be a good boyfriend in that sense. But it depends on from one girlfriend to the next. Some need more attention than others. Some would be happy with him just dropping by once every 10 years, So that's how I interpret what he's saying here. It's not that he wants to sleep around. It's just that he doesn't think that he'd be the kind of boyfriend that he assumes a woman would want. But we don't know Shakuyaku either. Like, she is a pirate herself. She would probably not need, like, some people can be in a relationship and not see each other much. Like, long distance works for them. There's actually a lot of relationships like that in South Africa where the husband works overseas and only comes home like once a year for like 2 or 3 months. And then there's me, where I'm like, you already went golfing this week. Why do you need to go golfing a second time? Who's going to bring me my iced latte? You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on the person. And I think Shakuyaku would actually not need him to be there or something. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So he replies, Rayleigh says, I wouldn't say there's no temptation. I just don't know when to be tied down. Well, I do. Listen up, folks. I'm not admitting defeat yet. Oh, look out. Roger's feeling feisty again. Pillaging is a pirate's true calling. If you want something, you take it. Ain't that right, boys? You're talking about Shaki? And then they're just laughing because, I mean. That's right. Why would she be at Rox's Island of all places? Everyone should have an equal shot. Let's go and take her. I'm hungry, Marks. Feed me. Grub's already on. Eat all you want. Yeah! Well, we'll see how that goes for him. Okay, so here is slightly earlier in time at the sacred Marijoa 40 years ago. You're getting ahead of yourself, Garling. The previous tourney just ended. I know, but I was working on a separate matter. No, I'm not on OnlyFans. I'm on Fansly. We were talking about that earlier. I react to currently my Dress Up Darling, Grand Blue, Date Alive, and so on and so on. But please keep it relevant. We're reading One Piece here. The previous tourney just ended. I know, but I was working on a separate matter. And I happened to moor my ship in this particular island. It's an unaffiliated nation with its own unique culture. I recommended that they join the world government. But I could not secure an agreement. The island is rich in resources and would be a great benefit to us. On top of that, I found something preposterous there. A discovery I never expected to make. Dun, dun, dun. The Great One will be quite pleased with it, I'm sure. Therefore, I strongly recommend God Valley for our next competition in 2 years' time. Oh, thank you, Booty. I think that was you. We don't have time for trolls on this channel. The Great One will be quite pleased. Okay, so this was before God Valley and so on and so on. Shaki's rip-off bar, Pirate Island. Hey, the line starts back there. It costs that much? I can't pay that. Step around back and you'll do 2 years free labor. What? I came all the way from the North Blue. I hear you've got great whiskey here. Everyone says your stew is the best, Shaki. That's so sweet of them. How precious. But I don't cook for the likes of you. It's just like I always imagined. This is the best. I've got an order of my special simmered beans for you, Shaki. Oh, and we're all out of whiskey. Cheap rum will do. Here's your high-end whiskey. I've never been so thankful for abysmal service. What's the matter, Rox? You seem so fulfilled. If I didn't know any better, I might have think you've lost interest in me. Oh, that's Big Mom. She's mama, mama. A woman's intuition can be scary. Hey, pipe down. It's supposed to be a secret from everyone. What? 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 Anyway, it's not just a woman, that's the face of a new father. So basically, he's not simping for Shaki right now because he's in love with someone else. But it's not just another woman. The woman got pregnant, had a baby. So it's the face of a new father. So that's what Shaki is picking up on. So then Roger pops in. Shaki! It's me, your lover boy. Ah, it's the Roger Pirates. Quick, get a picture. And then before she can even answer, oh, Roger. And then, Roger! Sasuke! Naruto! Sorry, what? So anyway, before Shaki can even say hi, Roger, Blackbeard is Blackbeard. Why did I call him Blackbeard like 2 or 3 times now? Well, rocks. You know what I mean. So anyway, Roger, how many times do I have to tell you? This is my island. And it's Shaki's place. No fighting between customers. Remember? So quit yapping, porcupine. What about the huge line outside? Did you wait the whole time? How did you get in here? Line? What line? Come on, boys. Let's get a round of drinks. Ugh, I can't stand the noise people make. Closing out. Newgate. Put it on Rox's tab. Oh, Roger, where's Ray? Oh, I told him to come with us, but he's resting on the ship. Said he wasn't feeling good. Wasn't feeling good. And then who the hell is attacking? Oh, is that who the? Roger, darling, how I've missed you. Is that Gloriosa? Why is she here? You've finally come to take me away. I keep telling you, no, I don't need a woman who throws hearts all over the place, causing chaos. But Shaki would be an exception, of course. What kind of logic is that? I'll pass too. And then she leaves. And then Roger is looking at her leaving. Hey, is Nugget around? I want to have a drink with him. He just left. Mama, mama. Stupid Rayleigh. Why didn't he come? So Roger wanted to have a drink with Newgate, with Whitebeard. Time to ship out Binks's brew. Binksu no sake o da-na-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. What is happening here? Oh. Shaki passed out! Let us tend to you. Get your grubby man paws off of her. By Shakuyaku's own decree, any who visited her bar were forbidden from fighting on the island. So even when rival pirates crossed paths here, no warfare resulted. But at sea, it was a different story. Oh, right. That Gloriosa joined Rocks. because Shaki left the Kuja. We didn't have a new chapter last week, so was this 2 weeks ago? Oof. Oh. Whoa. You. What am I even looking at here? Underworld, Elbaf. So here we have Loki ripping out a tree. And then what's this? I can't even see what it... How can you let the government get inside your head like that? Oh, this is a flashback. Wait, all of this is flashbacks. Wait. So then... How can you let the government get inside your head like that, Harold? Believe me, I wavered on this. Is this so important to you that you'd kill your own friend to make it happen? Oh, I remember they said that you have to join the world government, you have to kill rocks. And then we theorized 2 weeks ago that it happened on God Valley. Loki was holding on to the tree for dear life. Oh. Oh, and all the animals are like running away because they're fighting. So Rox is saying, how can you let the government get into your head like this? Believe me, I wavered on this. Is this so important to you that you'd kill your own friend to make it happen? You're just falling into line. They're using you and you don't even realize it. Don't you see? This is their answer. They only see your kind as a military force to be harnessed. They'll turn you into slaves and call you soldiers. Where has your warrior's pride gone? What does your own free will say? Don't act like you understand any of that. Our history of violence, from when we called ourselves warriors, is nothing but a shackle that weighs Elbaf down. Now that we seek the way of peace. Yeah, but is this peaceful? I think you're a good man, Harold. But we've been raided by giants in the past. Fear is not so easily wiped clean from the nation's mind. I'm sorry. Listen, Rox, no matter how foolish and impetuous the celestial dragons may be, they have the power to usher Elbaf into the circle of the world. No longer will we be on the outside. You don't want to be... The problem is, like, yes, the celestial dragons have this power, but to usher him into the circle, but no one chooses to be part of that circle out of, like, you have the power to be better more than the circle. Like, everyone that falls into line under the world government, they don't do so. They just do that because that's how it works. That's the current system. And I think that's all he can see at the moment. He wants to be accepted. He wants to erase the past. And he thinks that they're the only way how to do it. Oof. Listen, Rox, no matter how foolish and impetuous the celestial dragons may be, they have the power to usher Elbaf into the world, into the circle of the world. No longer will we be on the outside. But only when you're on the outside can you see things for what they are. Like, and I mean, Elbaf has more power than anyone to do that. So anyway, Rox then says, "Stop it, you soft coward," and blasts him away. The talks are off. I'm never inviting you again. I am the king. I can't risk my people's lives on the losing battle of a villain like you. I understand that. I understand him not wanting to join the rocks. I just wish that he took it one step further and didn't... Okay, wait, I'm trying not to see what's on that page right now. Oh, I know what those... I know now. I saw the page and I was trying not to think about it, and now I thought about it and now I know who it is. But let's just read the second to last page. I can't risk my people's lives on the losing battle of a villain like you. They could not see eye to eye. The odd little friendship between them came to an end, and for the time being they met no longer, until the day of that fateful incident. More news about Rocks. Rocks isn't coming, Loki. Shut up, you old hag. Do you want me to pour you some juice? Yeah. And then West Blue, 39 years ago, God Valley. Aw, it's twin boys. They're so adorable. And they've got your red hair. Yes, they do. We can only hope they turn out as wise as you two. Without their father around, we'll have to help with that. Thank you, sir. And what are their names? Shanks and Shamrock. Dun, dun! But I mean, we all knew this part. But look how cute they are! And we're seeing Shanks' mother, right? Here, red hair, like you. But without their father around. But this is at God Valley. So Garling went to God Valley, made a woman pregnant, left, and said, let's go back and... Whoa. What doesn't make sense? Shanks did say he was from the South Blue before when he met Whitebeard. Yeah, it makes sense to me. Because if we go earlier in the chapter, you're getting ahead of yourself, Garling. The previous tourney just ended. I know, but I was working on a separate matter, and I happened to moor my ship at this particular island. It's unaffiliated nation with its own unique culture. I recommended that they join the world government. But I could not secure an agreement. The island is rich in resources and would be a great benefit. So we all knew about the resources. Like, because we talked about it a while back. Why do they want the island? Usually it's resources, you know? That's modern wars are about, that's what it's about. Land and more importantly, resources. But I could not secure an agreement. On top of that, I found something preposterous. A discovery I never expected to make. The Great One will be quite pleased. Therefore, I strongly recommend God Valley for our next competition in 2 years' time. There's so many things to keep track of. Oh, did you guys see my shirt, by the way? It was a gift from ABC. EA says no. Shanks said he's from the West Blue. Doji says it makes sense. Celestial dragons do something like that. Remember the story about Bonnie's mom. Yeah, I mean, they have. Well, yeah. To me, it makes sense. It's interesting that the mom doesn't seem to be a celestial dragon. If she is, it's weird that the locals love her. No, I don't think she is. I think she's a local. And it's normal that they marry or they have kids outside of, like, they probably do it with whoever they want, whenever they want. I don't think what makes you a celestial dragon is only like, it's not like, because how many celestial dragons could there be? They can only inbreed so many times before it starts showing up. And I mean, look at Charlos. They don't want all their people to look like Charlos. That was a joke. At this point, we know more about Shanks than Buggy. And that's weird. Why? Shanks' mom put Shanks in a chest, and later Roger found him, but she wasn't able to save Shamrock. How do you know that? The One Piece Red movie and the SBS. I haven't read all the SBSs. That's the problem. This chapter is insane. Rayleigh and Shaki love story, Rox's secret wife, Rox versus Harold, Shanks' mother. Yeah, Rox versus Harold was the least spoilery thing about this chapter, honestly. Funny enough, I mean, at the end of the last chapter, I vaguely forgot exactly where we ended, but we already knew Harold versus Rox was going to happen or might happen because they were building it up. They told him to do this. And I guess all the title says is, well, he did it. I'm so excited to see Luffy's reaction to Shamrock. It's going to be so funny. I wonder because Luffy is the kind of person, like, Luffy looks at you, but he kind of, how do I say this? It's not like he doesn't look at what you look like, but at the same time, Luffy gauges people by their actions, not their looks. So I'm wondering if he's even gonna, like, wouldn't it be so funny if he didn't even notice that Shamrock looks like Shanks, because Shamrock is so different from Shanks. Does that make sense? Like, that would actually be really cool to me. Does Shanks being the child of destiny come from the preposterous thing Garling saw? What is the child of destiny? This will be Toei's title. Rox's secret family, the two red-haired baby brothers, arrive on the scene. And Harold versus Rox too, by the way. Luffy thought the Zoro zombie looked exactly like Zoro because they act similar. Zoro zombie? Luffy couldn't differentiate between the real and fake Straw Hats. Luffy is just weird. It would be just like Luffy to not even notice that Shanks, like, because I don't know why. Don't get me wrong, but it's just such a Luffy thing. Like, he always does the opposite of what you think. Luffy did mistake Kaku for Usopp. Why not? Because of the nose. Okay, never mind. Never mind. But in funny ways, I get it. Luffy didn't notice the difference between Kaku and Usopp because of the nose. But that's because I think that symbolizes how Luffy doesn't really... He might latch on to one funny thing like, okay, nose. But to him, when it gets serious, like Shamrock and the Shanks, they are completely different people on the inside. And I just feel it would be so fitting if he doesn't even, you know, notice, or I don't know. Imagine Luffy sees Shamrock before he sees Shanks. What do you mean? It would be funny if Luffy sees Shamrock and says he looks nothing like Shanks. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It would be so funny because... Let's discuss about Kozuki Moria. I mean, we were still discussing other things, but okay. What chapter... Where can I read about Kaido versus Moria? You know what I want to do? Moria fought Kaido in chapter 969, and Moria talks about Kaido in chapter 456. I'm just quickly gonna roll and then... Oops. Wow, the wind is bad. I'm gonna roll and then I'm gonna look up something regarding Moria. Like, I need a summary of his character. They probably will mention everything on the wiki. So I just kind of need a recap. Because there's definitely more regarding... Remember, we've already theorized quite a lot about his island, right? And I do remember something about him losing his crew and stuff. And then that's why he wanted zombie crew, because he didn't want to lose anyone else, right? The lost cover said he's from the West Blue and was raised in Ringo. Who? Is it Lost Hour? Okay. So Gecko Moria is the captain of the Thriller Bark Pirates and a former member of the Seven Warlords of the Sea, who resides on Thriller Bark, the largest ship in the world. His bounty is 320 million, which was frozen until he lost his warlord position. In his youth, Moria served as captain of the Gecko Pirates until a vast majority of his members were killed in a fight against Kaido of the Four Emperors. This traumatic event led Moria to seek power through an army of zombies constructed by his subordinate, Dr. Hogback. To that end, he stole the shadows of several beings with his Kage Kage no Mi powers, including Brook and several members of the Straw Hat Pirates, bringing him into conflict. Several members? Several? How many? But he retained his position as warlord and escaped Thriller Bark with the remnants of his crew. Wait, his zombie army was ultimately destroyed and the captured shadows set free, okay? But he retained his position. He took part in the Summit War of Marineford and sided with the Marines along with most of the other warlords. After the end of the war, he was stripped of his title and was to be eliminated by Doflamingo. But he managed to escape into the New World. Vegapunk later cloned Moria as one of the Seraphim to replace the warlords. I know that he stole the bodies because we saw them. We looked them up in a previous reaction. And we compared this, how this one looked to how they looked. So, and even the one guy was drinking. And 2 years after the war, he attacked the Blackbeard pirates on Hachinosu, but was defeated and imprisoned when he refused to join Blackbeard. He was later rescued by Perona with the help of Kobe. I vaguely remember that. My subordinates were known far and wide, so why did I lose them all? I lost my crew because they were alive. That's trauma. Bye, Antonio. Thank you so much for the tip. I gotta go to my nephew's birthday. Thank you for the stream. Happy 5th birthday for your nephew. Have fun. Eat some nice cake. And I hope you got him a cute present, like a manga or a Luffy action figure. You go to the arcade a lot, so you might even have a figure. According to Moria, his subordinates were greatly renowned and skilled. Moria himself was said to have been powerful enough to compete against Kaido. However, the crew eventually suffered a complete defeat at the hands of Kaido and his crew. Moria later came to blame the loss on his crew's mortality. So, but that's just like he couldn't process the loss, and he went maybe a little bit, 24 years ago, Moria was present at the execution of the Pirate King Gold Roger and witnessed the opening of the Great Age of Pirates. 1 year later, the Gecko Pirates had made it to the New World and clashed with the Beast Pirates in the Ringo region of Wano. Ringo region. Holy damn. So they clashed, like 23 years late, 23 years ago. Ultimately, this conflict ended with the vast majority of the crew being killed, with Moria himself being the only known survivor. And then he went insane. He found the hogback. He made a new crew of zombies so he couldn't lose them. Because you can't kill a zombie, I guess. The traumatic nature drastically changed his outlook on piracy and played, so he might have been a completely different person before that. A major role in this decision to mainly comprise his next crew of zombies with no real sentimental value. This crew, along with the Don Quixote pirates and Rocks pirates, are the only known crew named after their captain's surname. In the manga, some members of the crew seem to wear varying types of horns on their heads. So, in chapter 969, or episode 971, the Battle of Gecko Pirates versus Beast Pirates is mentioned. In chapter 481, Moria speaks of his former crew. In chapter 483, Gu reveals Moria to have once been on equal footing with Kaido. Chapter 456, Moria mentions his loss to Kaido in the New World. Chapter 0, Moria at Roger's execution. Excuse me, there's a chapter 0? And then chapter 969, every member of the Gecko Pirates seen in silhouette next to Moria appears to have different types of horns. Chapter 969, page 12. Wait, chapter 969, page 12. Let's quickly look that up. So someone said something about... My theory is that Moria heard that Kaido killed Odin, so he attacked Kaido to get revenge. I didn't read chapter 0. Nine, 6, 9. Nine, 6, 9, page 12. So, chapter 969 is this part where Odin was acting like a fool in order to Wait. Within just a few hours, Odin was seen stripped to his loincloth outside of Shogun Orochi's palace and dancing like a fool. Orochi and Kaido's underlings laughed and laughed. He danced and begged for spare change and finally walked away. The return of Kozuki Oden, the rightful heir to Wano, had been the country's final hope, in a manner of speaking. But the people's hopes were betrayed, and their great disappointment eventually turned to anger. It's the foolish lord of Kuri. That is Kozuki Oden. His fear of snakes gives him the blues, and if you laugh, you lose. Oden appeared in the capital once a week to caper about in front of the castle for scraps, whether rainy or windy or snowy. Please, Lord Odin, I dance in the buff every week and receive money. That is my job. Please tell us the truth. What did you speak about with Orochi? Why would you do this? Even the people of Kuri who believed in you the longest, have grown sick of this. Tales of his antics in the capital reached Kuri. It's the fool of a lord. Whatever you do, don't turn out like him. He's pathetic. A real samurai would rather commit seppuku than be Orochi's lapdog. After a year of this, which was 24 years before today, Odin received a newspaper from abroad, courtesy of Shogun Orochi. He ran up and down the beach wailing and laughing and wailing. The world was buzzing over the public execution of the king of pirates, Gold Roger, and the allure of the vast fortune he left behind. It sent all kinds of people out to sea on a treasure hunt. It was the start of the great age of piracy, so Moria was apparently there, right? Roger, you wonderful man, what a life. In the second year since Odin's return, so that was 1 year after the death of Roger, a battle broke out in Ringo, the Gecko pirates versus the animal. How the fuck did I know this? Can we go watch? What was my reaction? Like, probably nothing, because I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Did I even, like, realize? I don't think that I did, because at that point, it didn't even mean much. In the second year since Odin's return, a battle broke out in Ringo, the Gecko pirates versus the Animal Kingdom pirates. So they all have horns, like devils, I think. Oh, that is Gecko Moria? Oh my god, look how different he looked. I wouldn't even have recognized him. What? Nani? So they fought. But we weren't even told why. The grave of Ryuma, god of the blade, was ransacked at this time. All throughout, Odin danced, and all who associated with Kuri's foolish lord were painted with the same brush. There was the family of the laughing stock. Do you want a divorce? Is that a joke, or are you trying to make me mad? The vassals? We've been familiar with your naked dancing for years. It's nothing new to us. And those few who owed him a personal debt. He might be a fool, but calling him a lord is more than he deserves. Hey, you better stay away from Boss Hyogoro, fool of a lord. Stop that. Please, stop in and have some tea. That damned Orochi just won't give up. Okay, well, I guess I don't need to read any further, because, I mean, the most important part was we just needed to know that Moria fought Kaido? What episode? It says here, oh, sad. So here, One Piece, the Battle of Gecko Pirates, in episode 971, it was mentioned. But it doesn't, it says here, every member of the Gecko Pirates seen in silhouette next to Moria appeared to have different types of horns. But there's no episode number. In the Lost cover stories said he was from West Blue and was raised in the Ringo, and they fought in the Ringo. So it was not shown in the anime, so then no wonder I don't know. Guys, people change when they lose someone that they love. We were talking about this earlier. It was really funny because it was like a Disney thing. And we were theorizing about how it's possible that Mother Gothel from, at least in the Disney universe, obviously, but Mother Gothel. Okay, wait, let's start this again. Not including the spin-off TV series. Within the Disney universe, there's a theory that Mother Gothel is Meg, because Hercules gave up his immortality for her, and then he died. And she lost her mind. And we were talking about this theory, and someone said that they can't see that because Mother Gothel isn't who Meg is. They're not the same. Meg wouldn't become that. But when you lose people that you love, it changes you, you know? And I mean, Moria lost his whole crew in one fight. So, what are you saying? It was shown. I mean, the battle itself. They show a brief clash. In which episode? 971. I tagged you in the One Piece manga chapter for the clash, but Mother Gothel is the mother from Tangled. You should look up the video from the Carlin brothers. It is a very good argument. It's obviously just a theory, but it's a good argument. I don't want to look it up on YouTube. You guys are like... I want to see my reaction to it. 971. Here. This was around the time I got really close to catching up. Because I was still watching... Was I still watching 6 at a time at this point? (971), and this is 971 and 972. So where would it... I'm wearing red again. Am I past it, or is it still like coming? Moria and Crocodile are the paths Luffy could have gone down. That has actually been a very heavy topic. A heavily discussed topic recently. And I keep bringing up some Dan Da Dan quote because anyone, like, anything can happen to you and you could snap, right? And even, I mean, you look at kids even raised in the same household with the same values and they turn out differently. Like, tweak a few things in anyone's life and they could turn out like a completely different person. And, you know, all we can do as a society is acknowledge that you have to look at the best and the worst of society and to realize, like, don't put anyone on a pedestal, don't put anyone in a pit, right? You can look up to people and you can say, okay, those actions are wrong and whatever, but when you really, how do I say this? Like at the end of the day, you still have to see people here and make decisions based on that. But if you want a functioning society, you still have to make decisions about, right and wrong actions, and or at least so that you can limit the perpetuating of people turning into orochis at the very least, because a society of orochis just wouldn't survive. So I think that we can acknowledge that, okay, if I turn into an orochi, we could all turn into an orochi, for example. But if I do, well, something needs to be done about it, because society will not flourish. If there's multiple orochis, or if it's run by an orochi, worst case scenario. But yeah, and I think that's sometimes where it gets really difficult to talk to people, because like a lot of people nowadays, and you see it in stories, a lot of stories nowadays are really getting into the backstory of villains, right? Oh, what made them, they lost their family, they were hurt, this happened, that happened. And then people almost, they sympathize to the point where, they're not a villain at all. Whereas I think that that's not the lesson that I think I want to learn. Like, I feel like what I've learned from that is, okay, well, we see that anyone could become this, and it's a sad story, but we also don't want to perpetuate it. So how can we acknowledge, but also not because now you can't forget about actual victims because you're so sorry for this guy who has a sad backstory but is currently hurting people, Yeah, that's true. What is that quote about? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain? But I don't really like that quote either. I don't like that quote, actually. But I get it. I get the intention behind it. I think that's why we have this concept of inherited will. Because you have people that are trying to live their lives as right as possible. But then I think if you live too long making the best decisions possible, and other people keep fucking up, you'll get tired. But that's why inherited will is important, because all you can do is live your life as best as you can and then hand the mantle down to the next person, right? Oh, 340. Oh, that's not, I'm way too far. There wasn't subs at the moment I started the episode. Oh my god! Is right. Is right. I was distracted by the fact that there were no subs, and then all I said was Download the videos, but this keeps what do you want? This is usually the recap, so I was like, what? Okay. Oh. What happened to him? As a person who's been through hell and back and tested, darkness did challenge me but made me want to be a brighter light more than repeat the pain. Well, yeah, that's the other quote that we always bring up. That's why you can't excuse people with a sad past. Just because you have a sad past now, like hurt people, but it's not an excuse, because a lot of people go through the worst and don't want to hurt others. In fact, you kind of get two takes, but there's obviously always more than two paths. But on the one hand, you get people who are hurt and then want to hurt others so that they protect themselves. And then on the other hand, you have people that don't want anyone else to go through the same thing, so then they become, isn't there a quote about that? Help me find that quote. Oh my god, they really showed this.
What happened to him?
I just said he used to be skinny.
I guess life happens.
Life happens. Yeah, he was depressed because he lost his whole crew. And then I instantly forgot what I just saw and moved on to the next thing, because that's how the anime handles it. Like, it's so brief. I love this so much. I know it's sad, but just like his crew said, we've been familiar with your naked dancing for years. Like, the dance itself and everything is so... Like, you want to have fun with him, but then the reason he's doing it is not a fun reason. The sexy Odin dance wiped your memory. Yup. Oh. Moria might be Cross Guild's poneglyph reader, since he is Kozuki. When you become what you hate, they've won. True. Oh my, you can grind meat on those. Oh my god. Hi, Odinoko. Anyway. I can't believe... Like, on one hand, I was confused because I was struggling with the subs. Then, the only thing I said was, whoa, he used to be skinny. What happened? And then I moved on. This is why you should be making notes. I have such in-depth notes for the first 200-300 episodes of One Piece. And then I just lost time or something. What happened? I don't know. I'm so sad. I should have never stopped making notes. So can someone tell me the pun, or not a pun, but like the play on words with using kanji in the... To be fair, it was a pretty throwaway scene for a first-time watcher binging the series. Yes, the thing is, what happened with One Piece was that around Eni's lobby, it started to get stretched out a lot. Like, I noticed it more. And so I was watching more and more episodes, just so that I feel like the story moved forward. But then, because I was watching 6 episodes, I guess at some point I just stopped being interested in making notes. Because how I used to go about things was I would watch the episode, make my notes, write my review, and then I would record my review and edit it together. But that took a long time. And the more episodes I started watching, I think it just felt like I don't have time for this. And I was starting to react to more shows. Around that time, I had level 3 patrons who were sponsoring shows per patron. And I forgot to add like a limit. So people were like sponsoring Gintama and the Monogatari series and like longer shows. And I couldn't keep up, I think, with 6 episodes of Luffy trapped between 2 buildings really would break anyone's resolve. So yeah. But it's pretty big. Kozuki. So here, the cover story. It has this, right? And you know what this kind of reminds me of? Because it calls him Kozuki Moria, the heroic pirate of justice. And it reminds me of places who have statues of people who to some would be a terrible villain, and to others are a hero of justice. Like, we have monuments built for Shaka Zulu, the Zulu king, right? And to some people, he was a great conqueror. He was a hero. But then, I mean, he also was sad that his mom died and then banned people from having sex. And then when people had sex, they were killed. Like, cause, and then he was curious about how birth works. So he just cut women open and had, like he did vile things. They destroyed many other tribes, took the woman hostage, killed the men. I heard about the Stalin statue in an episode of Top Gear, I think. And there's a bunch of people like that. There's many, many, many. So it's interesting because maybe at one point someone did something great, but that doesn't mean like that's the legacy of their actual whole life. But the inscription on the gravestone reads Kozuki Moria, and Kozuki uses the same kanji, I think, as Gecko, but inverted to sound more like a family name. Interesting. You know, every time a chapter like this comes out, I realize that I need to read all of One Piece again. I need to read all the SBSs, which I haven't read, which makes a huge difference. Do you think Perona and Otama are sisters? No, but oh my god, how cute would that be? Oh, so Victor, oopsies. I don't think you'll be able to see this, but Victory Road Rage here. So Gecko, but when written the opposite way, it's Kozuki. That's wild. Thank you, JJJ. I'm a South Korean viewer. I'm always watching you. I'm always rooting for you to stay healthy and have a happy broadcast. Thank you. But yeah, it was pretty cool to look back at an old reaction. Even though I had a little bit of an oops there. It's lost hour. I have not claimed anyone. Roll, roll, roll. Come on, give me a One Piece key and a One Piece video again. Let's go. It's fine. I'll just claim the teacher from Great Teacher Onizuka. No, I'm not going to claim her. I claimed Murai's mom because I like Murai's mom. I don't remember that I particularly liked this character at any point in time. She was nice enough, but... Victory Road Rage says, basically now with the Moria theory, people are saying that Perona and Otama look very similar. Pink hair and the same eyes. But how? Like, how? I do see what you mean, and I'm definitely the kind of person that would, if two characters have the same hair color, I usually be like, yep, they're related. So, I mean, but I just don't want to jump to any conclusions. Perona. It wasn't Otama, it was... Who was it? It wasn't Otama. Otama was the purple hair one. It was... Maybe Moria found Perona during the Battle of Kaido. Oh, Otoko. So, they do have the same eyes. That is kind of like, because those are unique eyes. Except that her lashes are at the bottom and her lashes are at the top. But it is kind of damning. Cause I mean these are very particular eyes. But it's probably just Oda doing Oda things, like, you know, dropping some crumbs. But I mean, there would be no real meaning behind it. It's the same as what was it recently? There was recently something similar. Oh, it's the Rock's buggy thing, where it's like, I mean, sure, if like there's always the possibility, always, but why? Perona gives people negative emotion, and Otoko can't express negative emotions. That would be, see, there's always little things like that that makes you think, wow, it would be so poetic if it were true. But then, like, you can't, it'll always feel like a stretch until we actually find out the truth, right? But for me, the eyes are so, like, curious because these are not common eyes. Plus, they have pink hair. And you guys know me and hair. Odinoko says, I'm not a fan of chosen ones and heritage lines, but One Piece runs on it, so I try not to think about it. What does it mean, chosen ones? Like, inherited will. Kid Shamrock and Kid Bonnie look the same. Okay, but all babies kind of look the same, so I'm not gonna... But it is... That is another... Pink is a shade of red. But I don't think Otoko, the Kurozumi clan is Otama, not Otoko. Otama is Kurozumi. This was revealed in the SBS Small Blue section, where the author confirmed that the girl from Wano Country is a survivor from the Kurozumi clan, the family of the tyrannical Orochi. But Otoko's dad is that other guy. Otoko dad. Shimotsuki Yasue. Yasu the Hedgehog. For me, the biggest mystery about the Kurozumi clan is Higurashi. Who's Higurashi? Oh, this witch! Kurozumi Higurashi was a member of the Kurozumi family and a major supporter of Orochi. She was killed by Kaido for her interruption in his fight with Kozuki Oden. Due of her actions and role, she was a major overarching antagonist in the Wano Country arc and saga. Higurashi was an extremely old and decrepit, I don't know if I'm saying that right, woman with long, wild, water green hair and a cleft chin. She has several missing teeth. I know someone else who has missing teeth. Sorry, I'm joking. Over 41 years ago, during her meeting with Orochi, she wore a tattered light kimono and dark pants and had 2 lit candles fastened to her forehead with a headband. 25 years ago, after Orochi became the shogun of Wano Country, her clothes seem to be well maintained, and she is also shown to have blackened her teeth. Due to her Mane Mane no Mi ability, she could alter her physical appearance into a number of individuals. imitating human. Oh yes, it was Mr. Two's fruit. Some people say she is Yamato's mom. Why? Who is Blackbeard's mom? Does it matter? Maybe it won't matter. Won't matter. I'm always like curious about the moms. But the moms never matter in shonen. Except for Big Mom. Over 41. Wait. She was. Due to her Mane Mane no Mi, she could alter her physical appearance into a number of individuals. Okay, but that other woman in Blackbeard's crew also has a fruit that helps her copy people, but that is a mythical fruit, right? Okay, but see now if you're going off of hair only, this is basically, oh, Smoker is Zoro's dad because they have a slightly similar tone of hair. That was literally one of the things I said when I first started to watch One Piece. Because I didn't know their ages. Zoro looked really young and the Smoker looked really old to me, okay? So one of those like... And I think I might have been joking. She believed that those with power decided what was right and wrong, and did not view any attempt to gain power as wrong, even if it involved murder. She was sympathetic to the Kurozumi family's first attempt to gain shogunate, and used deceit to help Orochi take the title. Higurashi was very cunning, and would stop at nothing to get what she wants. She was cautious, having Orochi gather funds and weaponry well before his rise to power, knowing the benefits of those markets in the long run. When she saw Kozuki Oden humiliate himself on the street, you know what? She was probably very pretty when she was younger. Let's just be honest. We know how it works in One Piece. She just her dream was unfulfilled and her heart was wilting. And so she turned into this, okay? She was probably very beautiful at some point. But at that point, Kaido did not know her, okay? There's no way Kaido slept with her. And she had Yamato. No way. Higurashi could have transformed into Boa or Shaki. Don't say that! In battle, she did not... Wait. She was very cunning, would stop at nothing to get what she wants. She cackled with her family members, enjoying their success. In battle, she did not follow any code of honor, and she disguised herself as Momonosuke, with the help of the Beast's pirate member, distracted Oden with a hostage situation so Kaido could get the upper hand. However, this came at the cost of her life, as Kaido was intolerable of foul play in regards to his battles. Yes, because it makes him look like a weak-ass bitch. When you have to gain the upper hand through something like that. Like many other people, she possessed a unique laughing style. The plan was good. Okay, so there's Kozuki family. Higurashi held a grudge against the Kozuki family for preventing the Kurozumi family's rise to power. Why did she care? She particularly despised Sukiyaki for being born at the time of Orochi's grandfather started his takeover attempt. Who is Sukiyaki? Okay, yeah, that guy he had the mask, right? But why did she care? Just because she could ride on the coattails of their power? She did not hesitate in using an underhanded method to trick Oden in battle to have him lower his guard. Higurashi seemed to be acquainted with Kaido since his Rocks pirate days. Huh? And approached him 10 years after the God Valley incident with an offer of cooperation. She understood Kaido's personality well and gained his approval by speaking of the survival of the fittest. After the two came to an agreement, Higurashi was an ally to Kaido and used her power to help him in his fight with Odin. However, Kaido was displeased with her for interfering and killed her for it. Huh. We are still going to see her in a flashback since she also knew about the Rock's pirates. Well. Oh my god, guys. Yeah, maybe she is Yamato's mom, guys. I'm kidding! 105 years ago, Higurashi was born in the Wano country. Several decades before the present, Higurashi had witnessed the Kurozumi family's unsuccessful attempt. But this is, like, listen, if you listen to this. So one guy in the Kurozumi family tried to become the next shogun by poisoning his fellow daimyo. And he was sentenced to commit seppuku. Then the Kurozumi family lost their status and became targets for persecution. And they were horribly treated, which is not right. Back then, that was the way of the world. But obviously there would be people who are unhappy with that. Things change because society points and said that was not good. So she didn't like that. She probably resented how the rest of the Kurozumi was treated. And she decided, well, I'm going to help you. Higurashi left Wano country for a time, according to herself, facing many hardships, during which she ate the mane mane no mi, giving her the ability to mimic appearance of anyone she meets, which is a freaking crazy power, honestly. At some point in her travels, she met Shiki and copied his face. Eventually returned to Wano 41 years ago, where she found Kurozumi Orochi, the grandson of the treasonous family leader, and explained to him what happened with his grandfather. Blaming Kozuki Sukiyaki for being born and preventing the Kurozumi family, so doing the exact same thing, blaming someone who had, putting responsibility on someone who literally had nothing to do with anything. The head of the family did something and everyone else was persecuted. And then she blames the guy who was born. Okay. She instructed Orochi to gather up gold and start manufacturing weapons in order to become shogun, offering him the Hebi Hebi no Mi model Yamata no Orochi. Between 30 and 33 years ago, Higurashi posed as Odin and took Orochi to the shogun's castle, utilizing her disguise to get him a job. Though Higurashi was executed by Kaido, her interference in Odin's duel against Kaido would lead to all the immense amount of suffering and deaths of countless Wano citizens, particularly the Kozuki daimyos and their samurai armies, making her indirectly responsible for the 20 years of tragedies and suffering that the Wano country was forced to endure under Orochi and Kaido's tyranny. Higurashi is a species of cicada, also known as the evening cicada. The theme is also present in the name of her family member, Semimaru. Of the sky. So he was part of her family. The two lit candles attached to the headband may be a reference to Ushi no Toki Mairi, a method of placing a curse in Japanese folklore. Traditionally, the person performing the ritual wears 3 candles and not 2. When Higurashi first met Orochi, she was also holding a onusa, a wooden staff with paper streamers, which is associated with the Shinto purification rituals. Teeth blackening is a custom formerly practiced in Japan, where it was known as ohaguro. It was done for the sake of beauty, as pitch black objects were considered beautiful. Higurashi's favorite food is ohagi. What is ohagi? Glutinous rice, soaking rice. Ohagi. The proverb "tana kara bota mochi," literally, a bota mochi falls down from a shelf, means receiving a windfall or a lucky break. I'm literally looking for like any hints that a lucky break, okay. Like anything that could mean anything else. I have way too many. Look at all my tabs, guys. Gecko Moria, Gecko Pirates, Ringo, chapter something something, Perona, Otoko, Otama, Otoko, Dad, Kurozumi, Mane Mane no Mi, Kozuki Sukiyaki. This guy. Do you think Shiki is from Wano? He dresses like someone that's from Wano. I bet, doesn't he? And she copied Shiki's appearance. Which guy had Bartos fruit? Oh, the brother. Oh, right. Do you want to read chapter 0 real quick? Where? She understands Kaido well, but she did something that pissed him enough to be killed by him. Yeah, because she didn't think she'd be caught out, probably. I'll check if it's on Shonen Jump. It might be listed separately, though. It starts with chapter 1. Is it named anything? We have One Piece from chapter 1 to the latest. Then One Piece novels. One Piece Ace's story. One Piece Boichi covers. Vivi's Adventure. Shokugeki no Sanji. And Wanted. Eiichiro Oda before One Piece. So... but before we read anything else, let me close all these tabs. And also, I just need to post my reaction to, you can watch episode 0. What would be better first? Watching? Reading? Chapter 0 is in the middle of the Marineford arc. After what? Look around chapter 565. It was released alongside 565. Okay. Five, 6, 5. Five, 5, 5. 565, 566. It's just, yeah. Do you remember much of the Strong World movie? No. Ohayo, Ryan. Just give me a minute. I just want to post my video, and then if anyone can tell me where to read it. Maybe it could be on the One Manga Plus. One Piece. No, chapter 1 to 50. And there's also something called One Piece Re-Edition. What is that? Chapter 0 manga chapter was physically passed to people at Strong World premiere theaters. Lucky! If you want to send me a link, you might have to do that on Discord. Maybe Booty can sort that out. Why is there an episode 6 reaction for Gachiakuta but not episode 7? Where's my episode 7 reaction? Oh, I made a short for episode 7. Ah, thank you. Okay. Okay. Chapter 565.5. I don't have anything like 0.5. There is nothing like that on my... Look. And that's frustrating because it's like the official One Piece... It's Shonen Jump app. They should have it, right? That is kind of a wild thumbnail if you look at it like that. Okay, but here's my question. What is chapter 0 like about? Is it the part where Gecko Moria is at his execution? Wait, Booty sent it to me. Okay, so here it is. About 3 years before the Great Age of Pirates at the Marine headquarters. When the hell did this come out? And why am I only hearing about it now? Roger and the Golden Lion have made contact off the coast of ED War in the New World. Rox is nothing like his son. He's a legend. We know how trauma can change people, right? So we'll see. Thank you so much for the tip. Alok, is that how you say her name? Thank you very much. I still am pretty neutral on Rox at this point. He says some interesting things, but we haven't really seen a lot of his actions outside of establishing Fulla Led or Hachi Nosu, or what is it called? So yeah, but he does say nice sounding things sometimes. Okay, so anyway, this is Roger and the Golden Lion have made contact. Wait, Garp, we're not through yet. Maybe you aren't, but I am. Garp, did you turn down yet another promotion? You're so cool. A promotion just means less freedom to do what I like. Otsuru-chan, if you are heading out, give me a ride. You don't have orders to ship out, do you? I don't like letting you on board. You always destroy the ship. Don't say that. I have to bring down Roger myself. I can't turn the page. This is why I hate fucking these sites. Oh, it goes... So this reads like a normal book and not backwards. Like... Well, when I say normal, I mean normal for me. Garp, Shiki is my business. You stay out of it. Don't worry, I'll give you all the credit. That's not what I meant. Whoa, Admiral Sengoku and Vice Admiral Garp heading out together. Well, it's Roger after all. Garp can't let that one go. The New World. Captain Roger, our lives are more... Wait, what? So this is so confusing because now I'm turning this way, but I'm still reading the other way. My brain can't do this. Okay, wait. Captain Roger, our lives are more important. Just do as the Golden Lion asks for the time being. You can't die no matter how many times you get stepped, so what do you care? I have all sorts of weaknesses, dummy. That's it. Crocus, how is the captain doing? He shouldn't fight, should he? As his doctor, tell him he shouldn't do it. It's okay, don't worry. Sorry, but he's in great shape. Just give up. We have been with Roger for ages and have never been able to stop him. Really? Just have some faith in Tom's ship, the Oro Jackson. Roger's time is almost up. How many times have we had this talk, Roger? We had our problems when we were young, but that is all water under the bridge now. You know the location of the weapon that can destroy the world. And I've got the manpower. Plus, I've got the perfect plan I've spent years working on. We'll be able to take over the world in no time. Be my right-hand man, Roger. I have no desire to rule, Shiki. And that's what I like to hear. What good is a pirate if he can't do what he wants? You can pressure me all you want. But I will still decline your offer, Golden Lion. Whoa! And it's one ship against many. Thank you, Itsumo. Arigato. Stop it, Captain! How many ships do you think there are? So your answer is that you want to die today. No, my answer is that I'm going to crush you all. Dun, dun, dun. I guess if I notice my feeling when he says, I have no desire to rule, I think that's the only reason why I'm still hesitant to support, even with all the nice things he said. Like, anyone will stand up for their friends, almost. Like, being loyal to a friend doesn't necessarily make you a good person, because it's easy for any person to be good to a friend, right? So that is not a determining factor for me to decide whether or not I would support someone's actions. Like, you say something nice about your friend, that doesn't mean anything for me about you as a person and what you actually do. So one of the biggest reasons, I guess, why I'm still on the fence with regards to rocks is probably because of this. Like, I don't know if I trust someone that wants to take over the world or whatever. I'm not sure. He said some things like that, but we're still so in the dark. Things can be interpreted in too many different ways. So all I'm still doing all this time is like waiting a bit more for, like, let me see what you do, you know? But I guess I just don't trust people who... But we don't know what he really wants. He says some things and he says some other things, but there's too little to go off of for me. So anyway, Roger says, my answer is that I'm going to crush you all. The clash between Shiki the Golden Lion, commander of the largest pirate fleet around, and Gold Roger, who would later be known as the Pirate King. So at this point, he wasn't even the Pirate King yet. Came to be known as the Battle of Ed War, ED War. What is that? And when did this come out? In what arc? Roger's ship was in a desperate situation, but was saved by the raging weather. Meanwhile, Half of Shiki's fleet sank. In addition, Shiki had an unfortunate accident, and Roger escaped the battle. Oh, Roger escaped, so the battle was declared a draw. Oh, during the Marineford arc. Bye, Hachi. But that's exactly what I said, Frank. I said, if you go back and you listen to what I said, is that Rock said some things about ruling the world, but there's too many different ways to interpret that. We don't know what he means or what that means. So, until I see what he does, action-wise, I have not decided really yet how I feel about him. So you can take my words and say them again and again 50 times, but we're saying the same thing. The only difference is that you've decided to like him, and I'm saying I'm waiting. Okay, so Roger got away. Due to some weather and luck, Roger got away, and it was seen as a draw because it was one ship versus many, and half of his fleet sunk. So, honestly, kind of see that as a win for Roger, but if Shiki is still alive, I guess it's a draw. Roger's ship was in a desperate situation, but was saved by the weather. He had an accident. What was the accident? How is the wheel? Oh, Dr. Indigo. I was unable to remove it. It's in there pretty deep. He might die if you try to remove it. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, well, these things happen. Actually, I think getting a wheel stuck into your head during battle is pretty rare. These things happen. I'm surprised you're still alive. Well, they do compare me to a lion after all. What's that chicken doing there? That's you! It's like you had a freaking lobotomy. But like the tool got stuck in there, and then they were like, let's just leave it. Ta-da! About 2 years later. Roger finally did the impossible. Oh, 2 years after that, Roger finally did the impossible and conquered the Grand Line. They started to call Goldie Roger the Pirate King. And then his crew mysteriously disappeared. A year later, news of his arrest broke. Oh my god. That is going to be a chapter and a half. When we find out why they disappeared and how he just got arrested. Because there's no way. We need that chapter. I want to see him getting arrested against his will or what. No, there's a reason for this. This is a planned, I don't know. Roger captured. It's a trustworthy source. Don't lie to me. Who's gonna believe that? I know, right? Didn't Roger turn himself in? Yes, we know that, but I want to see it. I want to see the chapter. Boss, please, calm down. Then stop lying about it. Where are you going? Intruder alert. Where? Intruder where? The location is the Marineford Plaza. How many are there? Is that really him? Just one. It's Golden Lion. Scum like you could never capture Roger. I know how strong he is. The Pirate King? So what? If he joined forces with me, we could have taken over the world. Yeah, but Roger didn't call himself the Pirate King. Other people called him the Pirate King because of what he did. He conquered the Grand Line, and then... Did we see them disbanding? Oh. If we saw that, I'm sad. But I still want to see the discussion where he decided to hand himself in and then when he did that and why he did that. I want to know. We couldn't get along, but we lived through the same age. If he is here, bring him out. If you're going to kill him, let me do it. Admiral Sengoku. Roger is the pirate king. If you fought him, he'd be able to win and escape. His execution is scheduled for a week from now in East Blue, where he was born. In Logetown, the town of beginnings. Vice Admiral Garp. Roger's death will probably break the hearts of many pirates. The legend of Roger, the pirate king, will end in the weakest of the seas. East Blue? Don't make me laugh. That is the worst humiliation for that piece of shit. I'm a little confused here. Can I go back? Who is saying what now? Roger is the pirate king. If you fought him, he'd be able to win and escape. His execution is... You may call it weak, but the East Blue is a symbol of peace. Don't interfere with the execution. Alok, thank you for the tip again. And he's asking, is Shanks gonna come to help Luffy? He's free now. No. This part. Roger's death will probably break the hearts of many pirates. Okay, but either way, it's those two speaking to Shiki. And he can't believe that this is going to happen, but they're telling him it's going to happen. And sorry, Alok is changing the subject and asking, is Shanks going to come to help Luffy? He's free now. Why? Would he? Does he need to? Are we talking about... The thing is, it's a bit difficult to answer your question because we're reading this now. And even in the newest chapters, I don't remember the last time we saw Luffy right now. So it's a bit tough to, like, you know, just jump from one conversation to the next one. I'm barely hanging on to all the information that's being, you know, given from one moment to the next. So, yeah. So, okay, a huge fight then ensues, I'm sure. Garp, Sengoku, and the Golden Lion. These three fought until Marineford was half destroyed. What the hell? Get the wounded out of here! And in the end, the pirate Golden Lion was sent to Impel Down. When was the last time we saw Shiki? 1 week later, the Great Age of Pirates began with Gold Roger's death. And then we see here Doflamingo, Buggy, Mihawk. Everyone from the front. I remember seeing this page somewhere. But everyone is shown from the front except Crocodilia and Shanks. Oh, and Dragon. The next day, the news spread around the world, giving people a premonition of the turbulent times to come. I remember there was an episode with Rouge, and everyone was looking for her baby, and then she literally kept the baby in, like, for 4 or 5 months longer, just so that people won't suspect him of being Roger's kid, so that he could get away. That is so sad. 20 months. hear she died. That makes it so much more sad, like even more sad for me. That was during Marineford when Sengoku revealed Ace's father. Fuck. His mom did... I so wish he had listened to Whitebeard and not gone after that fuck face. I'm so sorry. I wish I was a more delicate lady who didn't say all these bad words, but a terrible age has begun. So that's Vivi and her dad. Guess there will be more pirates, Oimo. They won't attack us here. Where were they? At Eni's lobby already. Did you hear the news, Tonjit? Someday I'll be the world stilts champion. Where was that again? Why do I feel like... Is that from Rongu Ringu Rongurando? Shaki was right to choose Rayleigh instead of Roger. Oh, that was Vivi's mother. Oh, right, because she would have been really young here. But honestly, I can't even tell how old this person is. She could be 5. She could be 15. She could be 25. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's not Vivi. I know. Okay. Thank you. Captain Cricket, did you hear Roger left an amazing treasure behind when he died? Romantic, isn't it? We must become strong, stronger than justice. This is Lucci and the wolf guy. Oh my, what on earth? This child is cursed. It's the curse of the age of pirates. Oh my god. Excuse me, lady, your face looks no better, okay? Maybe you're cursed. The great age of pirates? Can everyone become a pirate now? If you're not really, really strong, you can't join a pirate crew. So that's Boa. See that small Boa could look just like, they look very similar, right? I'm not defending it. I'm just saying anyone would have been confused in that moment, okay? They're so small, okay. In the undersea prison of Impel Down. Did you hear the big news? The Pirate King left behind a huge treasure. And down at level 6. The age of pirates is here. We've got to get out right now. A new age has begun. Why did you die, Roger? See, why? Yes, why? You're asking the real question here, Shiki. Why? Ridiculous. All you selfish idiots out there looking for treasure will only get in the way. A new age? Pirates rule the seas. Someday I'll make you see that. So when did the movie happen? After this. Right? But the movie isn't canon. Two years after Roger's death, the myth of the prison crumbled. Chief, there's trouble. Shiki, the golden lion, has escaped, but he is still somewhere inside. Did he find a way to remove the sea stone shackles? No, sir, he did not remove the shackles. Oh my god. He cut off his own feet. We have to find him. We can't let him get away. Have you seen my 2 swords? They're both famous. Oto and Kogarashi. It's time for a promotion. Oh, I mean, it's Shiki. Sorry, but I'm going to have to leave. Don't need my feet though. You can have them. Thanks for the past 2 years. Deputy Mazellan, Shiki's here. Help, help. And so, Though the pirate's fangs had been broken once, the golden lion broke out of his cell and once more returned to the seas. Pirate Fleet Admiral Shiki, the Golden Lion, becomes the first prisoner to escape from Impel Down. Okay, now I have legs. Sengoku. Sengoku here. Sorry to interrupt your vacation, Garp, but it's the Golden Lion. Yeah, I heard. We'd better be careful. He's a dangerous man. But he won't make a move just yet. He likes to thoroughly be prepared. Makino, where's Garp? He said he was going to the mountain. What are you doing crawling, brat? Come back here. Ace-chan, it's Grandpa Garp. And didn't we read somewhere that he specifically left Ace with Garp? Like, or why is Ace with Garp again? Man, doesn't he look like he could be a tiny Luffy though? I almost for a second thought it was. I'd hoped this child would be able to take over the dojo, but it's a girl. Don't worry, Kuina will be strong. Oh, that's odd. Could it be travelers? Is that Usopp's dad? I'm not reading that out loud. I asked a man named Yasop to come. He said that's Shanks. He said that's Shanks's crew. I'm the Going Merry. Yes, I'd love to build this ship someday. So wait, okay. This is Usopp's dad, and he's now going with Shanks. Then this is Merry, and he's designing the ship. I heard Shiki escaped. If he comes to East Blue, I'll give it to him. We can always count on you, Bellamere. The Golden Lion, eh? They call him the Flying Pirate. My kid is blowing bubbles. Damn, another failed experiment. He did it again. So this is just going through where everyone was at the time. Your Highness, don't you think you're going too easy on Wapol? Yes, I've been worried about him. Nico Robin is here. She's just a kid, but she's got a bounty of 17,900,000 berries. Crap, I'm stuck. What happened? Miracle fight. Gaimon. How's the sea train coming? Oh, it's coming. I'm helping, so I'll be fine. I'm helping, so it'll be fine. He wants to add weapons. Laboon! Sorry, Laboon. I sailed on Roger's ship, and I searched for them, but there's no sign of the Roomba pirates. $42? This is tough. 42 degrees is hard. Oh, I farted. Yoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, yeah. Wapol is a witness, yeah. To what happened with Vivi's dad. Crazy that guy is now, like, really important. I'm here, Shaki. Oh, hello, Hachan. Is Rayleigh here? He's inside. Do you want some juice? Sure. Aww, so cute. I can't believe that Hachan wasn't Hachan with Arlong. Ugh. But Hachan, he didn't realize what Arlong was doing. I don't remember. Hachan seems so like innocent, and then. Oh, okay. That is so cute. I'm here. Really? So you got out, Shiki, but what do you plan to do now? Yeah, he just seemed like he was. But ignorance does not. But yeah, okay. We've moved on from that. It's so crazy for me to think that this guy was once that guy, you know? So what do you think of the world without Roger? There are no walls to hold us in anymore. It's your age now, Whitebeard. If you just came here to spout your nonsense, I'll drown you right here and now, Golden Lion. Ha ha ha. I see you're annoying as always. That puts my mind at ease. I think I'll lie low for a while, and then I'll show people what a real pirate is like. Are you plotting something again? Merview, a cloudy, unexplored mountain on the Grand Line. Dr. Indigo, how is the experiment going? I remember this guy. He was in the movie, right? Indigo. I don't remember his name. I just remember that hair or something. I've made one discovery. It appears there's a balance between the plants and animals here. There are many that are not found anywhere else. Get to the point, Indigo. How long will my plan take? Well, 10, 15, no, 20 years at least. All right. We'll carry out my plan in 20 years, and then I will show them hell on earth. And so 20 years passed. This is where it all began. Wow! So nice. And that's where the movie comes in. So it's kind of canon. Number 2 and number 3 of rocks talking to each other. Rocks talking to each other? What do you mean? Hachinosu doesn't have... There's like 2 people in the chat right now, and they're having quite the conversation about whether or not Elbaf counts as Shanks's territory. And by territory, you get different versions of that, right? So, for example, I think the mermaid island, the mermaid place, that was Big Mom's territory. But basically, she protected it for like a price, which was crazy. So then you also get territory like that place that Whitebeard protected. So if you mess with that place, I think there's a difference between this is my territory, if you mess here, I mess with you. But then also you just have, because it's such a, like, because if you mess with my friend, I'll mess with you anyway. Most likely. But it's a different than an official territory. I don't know if I would assume Elbaf is Shanks' territory, because to me, the territories were like weak places that needed protection. Whereas I don't think that Elbaf really needs anyone to protect them. So to me, it's more like how someone puts it as like, I wouldn't really say it's Shanks' territory, it's just his friends. But if you assimilate those two things, you might say, oh yeah, it's his territory, but it's like semantics. Like if a tree falls in the forest with no one to hear it, does it make a sound? Well, it depends. How do you define the word sound? To me, it's just how do you define the word territory? It's I don't know. So I would almost want to say like, okay, you can both be right. Just no need to argue about it. Mm. Sunisha! Elbaf is too strong on its own for it to be Shanks' territory, and there's no flag of Shanks. Leave this territory thing. That's so confusing. You mean the thing that you brought up? Country or kingdom, not under government, needs protection from Yonko. But Elbaf is full of giants. They already have the protection from their people. I also wouldn't really see... Someone said... Kind of like how Wano is Luffy's territory, but... Like, yeah, territory in... But not. Because I don't see it as his territory. I see it as like... allies. That, you know, yeah, allies. But if you think ally equals territory, then... I don't know, yeah, sure. It's tough. Okay, well, that was cool. I didn't know that Shiki was, like, this big. Like, I kind of, up to this point, Shiki was just, like, a non-canon movie character to me, so. Okay. But it is almost, well, it's past 11. How do we round down today? How do we conclude everything? What were the most important points is kind of what I'm trying to... Actually, I forgot to read the One Piece manga chat. Tiago says, oh my, Rayleigh and Shaki finally starts when? Come on, Oda, show us Blackbeard's mom. Enough with the mystery. I'm not keen on Shebek's new leadership. More chaos approach. But the more Harold seems to get hung up on allying with the world government, the more of a point that Shebek has about Harold people being nothing but soldiers and slaves. But to me, that's often the problem, like yes, wait, let me use this. So here is the giants, right? They want to be part of the world. They want people to forget the past. He wants to be accepted, right? So on the one hand, you have the extreme, the world government. That is like the worst form of order, like the most extreme version of it. And then potentially, we don't really know yet. On the other hand, you have this other guy who wants to rule the world, but maybe in a more chaotic way where it's every man for himself. So just because we want to... So, wait, here is Chebek. So just because, okay, we want him, yes, we want him to not go with the world government because they're fucked. They're messed up. They're terrible. Especially the ones at the top, you know? I mean, the most of the Navy are just guys trying to protect little islands and people and stuff, and most people allied with the world government are just people trying to go about their lives, trying to keep the order, trying not to get raided by pirates or by corrupt government officials. Like, they're just trying to... So Harold wants... The problem is that Harold wants to join this world, this idea, what the world government rules over. That's the problem. But he doesn't really realize how terrible this part is, I think. But just because we don't want him to ally with the world government doesn't mean the opposite is the answer. Like, that's the difficult part. Because whether your lords are these bitches who will keep you safe for as long as you pay them exorbitant amounts of money, or it's this guy who is like, well, every man for himself. I mean, your average person won't be able to live on Hachinosu or a pirate island. Like, there will be more of those, right? Your average person is going to get bulldozed. So, if that's what he's planning, I still don't really know what his plan is. But if only he should do his own thing, man. You become king of the world. But how do you become king of the world? Just do your own thing. Just Elbaf, do your own thing. But there is people helped them, and they want to help people because that's what it means to be an ally. When they didn't have food or something, people sent them food. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all the important part was Harold versus Rocks. The title spoiled all. We didn't even talk about anything else. They are setting them joining the pirates since they didn't last time when they sided with the world government. Well, kind of. Okay. I think they should just be their own thing, but okay. I do kind of wish that there was an option for the Giants to join the Revolutionary Army. Oh yeah, at this point of the story, but Dragon wouldn't have made that yet. Oh yeah. The Rebel Army, man, the Rebel Army. I like them. I like them because they don't do things for the people. They do rally them. They give them resources, but they don't fight their battles for them because they know that doesn't work in the long run. They don't want to rule over these people. They just want to give them the option to fight for themselves, the strength to stand on their own 2 feet. And I like that. I like their approach. I'm not saying their system is perfect either, but it's looking like something to me. Did that crescent moon piece of trash really knock up a woman only to let her and her island get wiped out and take her sons for himself? Because it's hard to see it any other way. Seeing her being helped out by her fellow locals. And she said, "Thank you, sir. As wise as you." Wise. And she slept with that guy. Did she though? Did she even? Consensually? Chandler said the official one was, once more, tamer than the fan one. Where? What? What did the... Come and get me. Oh, and then the fan translation says, "Come and make me yours." Woo! That does sound spicier. The cover page was more popular than the chapter itself. I feel like we talked about a lot of things though. Cover page, non-cover page, but yeah. People went crazy that Moria's related. What people think are crazy doesn't get much of a reaction out of me. Oh, happy birthday, Bunny! Oh, so precious. Oops. The small clash. Oh, okay. This is just a clip to what that I reacted to already. I think the best answer for Harold at this point was to not answer and wait for what comes next. What do you think about that? You're telling a king to not do anything? It's easy to say in retrospect. Let's just say that. It's easy for us to say with our knowledge. Shamrock looks like he was planning something. As a baby? I remember when Sengoku talked about rocks being the worst person of the world, but for now I don't see that I have to wait for God Valley. Well, I mean, but he's a Marine, so Rocks did kill an admiral, right? When that time when he met Harold and he talked to Imu. So obviously by Sengoku standards, he might not be a very stand-up guy. Not too surprising. It's tough to even assume Harold's perspective at this point because we don't know everything that he knows. But I think he has a little bit of a complex, like I don't know what the word is, but he takes a lot of guilt on himself for what he and other giants did in the past. It's like if I were to go around like slitting my wrists because people go around saying colonizer, colonizer, go back to Europe, blah 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 blah, because I live in South Africa. And then I'm like, and imagine if I go around like feeling, oh, people who I never knew, who years ago did things that, like conquering, like Shaka Zulu did, but okay, I guess they did it too well. Imagine if I take responsibility, if I feel, so he's like that. He's really like weighed down by that weight, and almost like that's making him far too desperate to be accepted by the wrong people. So it's kind of like blinding to him. Sins of the father. That kind of links in with the Ace storyline too, right? So yeah, I just think that for now, it's tough for Harold as a king who wants to protect his people by allying with other nations. Sadly, he has to go through the world government to do it. And he's not realizing that at this point, he doesn't know how to see that it's not worth it. Because who knows at this point, except really the higher ups of the world government, who knows in the story how bad they are, truly. Like, I'm not sure if half celestial dragons like Shanks / Shamrock are accepted. I don't think they're smart enough to know the difference. Those guys, the celestial dickheads, they don't know much. They go around with their pets. They eat their lobster, and what do? They do nothing. They know nothing. They're figureheads or something. We need to figure that out, because the only ones that really have any power are Imu first and foremost, and then the Gorosei. The celestial dragons are just like the royal family or something in England, because what do you do? I don't even know. Sorry, that was a bad joke. But so I don't even know that if they would know who is a half and who is full and who is this and who is that. how many families there were before? 20, right? 20 different families. Nefertari was one of them, but left. There is literally like this whole wall should be one of those conspiracy walls with red tape and circles. Honestly, you need a one piece of room, and then your whole wall needs to be filled with like character names and faces and red tape, and that's the only way you could even hope to make proper theories about One Piece, because otherwise there's just too much information. But anyway, so it's been 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'm going to end the video and sadly the stream at the same time. I'm a little bit hungry. Charlie Odinoko says, my guess is that Oda has several of those walls at home. Honestly, he might be that kind of genius that can mentally, he probably has like 100 walls in his head, back and front, full of little notes, and like he's just one of those geniuses that can mentally have all that. Because how else would he be doing this? Things from 500 chapters ago being brought back like this. How? So good. With Buggy in the center, he's the key to all of it. Probably. You know, probably. Okay. So that's it from my side for today. I feel like we were all over the place. And there was so much information. And I should start making notes again is what I should do. Phew. But... Oh, happy end of August, guys. It's September, so, you know, whole new month in an hour for me. I have off Mondays and Tuesdays, but I'll be doing some gaming on Wednesday. Dun on Thursday. I'm reacting to Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt and Space Dandy over on Fansly. Then I'll be back to streaming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We do have a new chapter in 7 days, so it's 1159. I'll be back on YouTube for that. But then, just to let you know, I'm reacting on Friday and Saturday on Twitch, starting with Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and Dr. Stone. Then Dragon Ball GT, Kaiju number 8, and Fate on Saturday. And I'm starting my stream on Sunday on Twitch as well. I'll be reacting to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, plus Gachiakuta, plus One Piece. And then after that, I'll be on YouTube for the chapter read along. Lookalikes, Baby Bonnie, Baby Shamrock, Corona, Otoko, Oda Cooking. You can't say that babies look alike. All babies look alike. Is September when this weather starts warming up for you? Yes, more or less. It's spring. Yay, it's spring! Spring means I'm one season closer to summer. Please check the Discord before you go. Okay. Where? That's a lot of suns and moons. I found the drawing of Oda did of Shanks being found by Roger for Film Red promotion. 1158. Oh my. But wait. But didn't Shamrock say, look children, blah 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 or something? Can we watch Film Red again? I don't know when. Sometime. This is the fan drawing of the image with the accurate translation. Ah, what? It's coming from inside the treasure chest. Something's in there. Open it carefully. Oh? And then that was how Shanks was found. Done. Aw, cute. Cute. So his mom hid him in a chest. And this was revealed in an SBS. Man, I need to read the SBSs. I still have the manga here. Like, because I try to read them a little bit every now and then. But we end up talking about these mind-blowing chapters. Too long. So what am I supposed to do? Okay, well. I'm hungry. Thank you guys for a lot of fun. I thought the chapters were so great. And I love One Piece so much. And there's so much good story and so much good characters. And I can't get over it. And I literally want to have kids just so that I can read manga with them. And re-experience everything. And then... But we'll get there slowly but surely. So see you guys next week. Have a good start to September. Thank you, Modru, Jolly, the Joestar, Victory, Road Rage, Booty, Alessandro, DK, Hunter, Alok. And thank you so much, Alok, for the tips as well. Thank you, Tsel, Odinoko, Frank. And if I didn't give you a shout out, Doji, if you're just lurking or whatever, I still appreciate your presence. And I hope that my voice in the background while you're playing games or doing whatever was, I want to say soothing, but I know my voice. So, I'll see you guys. Wait, let me just get the thingy ready. Okay, it's ready. Bye.